everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new around here, my name is Missa. Instagram, Twitter, if you want to go check them out, you should. Today I'm going to be testing out some new products and first impressions and playing with a bunch of old favourites. We're going to do this look here, very kind of classic glam, I would say, golden brown and red. What else? This video is a bit exciting though because it's actually sponsored by none other than Look Fantastic. Yeah, somehow they know I exist. So Look Fantastic has sent me a voucher that I was able to spend on the site to buy a bunch of stuff and then do a video with it. So that's what we're doing today. We've got, oh, shut up. We've got some really exciting things from, I don't know, I'm not going to show you. No. I'll save them and you can see them in a second. I really like Look Fantastic because they have a whole heap of drugstore and a whole heap of high-end, but I guess one of the main reasons I love them and order from them is because they often have percentages off. They quite often do 15% off. I, however, have a code for 20% off. The link will be in the first line of the description box, and you need to use code Missa, which I'll also write down there, and you will get 20% off, and I highly recommend checking that out if you wouldn't mind. Makes me look good, doesn't it? But yeah, if you're in the market for some new products, it's always good to check on there when you can get a nice wee discount. And so I'm going to stop fanning around. Thank you so much to Look Fantastic for sponsoring this video, and we're just going to jump in. So if you want to see how I got this look here, hear my thoughts on a bunch of new products and old faves, keep on watching. I think I might start with my eyes today. I don't want to risk fallout when fallout does not need to be risked. So I'm taking Revlon Candid. How could I not? I'm going to use this as my primer. I'm just going to scooch it all over the place. Got a nice spot here. I think I'm going to do like some kind of halo. I mean, you'll already know. Again, you'll already know and I don't. I love this as an eye primer. I won't bang on about it because I have many times, but it really barely creases on me, which is why I like it. It isn't the most full coverage concealer. You can probably still see that spot a little, but as an eyeshadow base, it does really work. I'm going to use one of my favourite drugstore eyeshadow palettes. I was so happy to see it was in the 20% off section. This is the Lottie London Tweely Living My Best Life palette. I've used this in a few tutorials and the quality really is spectacular. I highly recommend it. So what will I do? I'm going with this nice deep brown first. I don't think I've ever used this brush before. I'm besmirching it. This palette is already less than £10, which is why I've recommended it so often. This has been in a few favourites videos. I'm just kind of messily stamping on my shadows right now. Don't pay too much attention to me. I'm hoping this all comes together. I always find my eyeshadow looks terrible until my base is on. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Well, I picked a terrible time to film because all the school kids are now on their lunch break, so I'm going to yell. I'm just going to blend this out with a clean brush and then we'll go in and deepen it up. This palette really does kind of just blend itself away. Actually shockingly good quality, especially when you consider the price, but if the price was no factor, genuinely would think this was high-end eyeshadow. I still feel like not enough people talk about this palette either, which is honestly a crying shame. I'm going to grab this shade No Tea No Shade and I'm going to start packing that on the inner and outer corner just to super deepen this up because, like I said, I want it to be quite dramatic and quite like sexy and date night makeup, you know? It's also a tremendously good drugstore black, and they're not the easiest things to find. I'm going to go back with that first brush and that first brown shade just to blend out the edges of that. I don't really find that this black gives me a lot of jip when it comes to blending it. Then I'm going to grab Chickatarian, which is this brown here, and probably this one just beside it called Porky. How did I forget? These two here, and just blend out around the edges of this and really diffuse it. I am just leaving the whole centre clear on purpose, but again, at the same time, I am just winging this and I don't know what's going to occur. I just Yeah, I don't understand how this palette can be so cheap and such good quality. Which is great because I do think I do tend to veer towards more high-end palettes, but I need to remember that this one is fabulous. And I feel like a really current colour scheme. A lot of brands are bringing out like neutrals and nudes and kind of bringing it back and kind of steering away from rainbows. And so this is perfect for me, especially because I do tend to have quite a rainbow heavy collection. I can kind of come back to that, but I just want to do my middle bits because it's more exciting when you're putting on shimmers and things. I think I'm going to use this lightest one, which is called 1 million, well 1M. I actually was going to say I'm 1M. I'm going to wet it just because most metallic shadows look better wet. Seriously, if you haven't bought this palette yet, please consider it. Look at all these neutrals and then you've got these really pretty, more jewel tones as well. Like... I am going to blend the edges, but first of all, I had to take the opportunity, when I had the voucher, to buy a new Stila. This is in the shade Diamond Dust. I've only ever had minis of this, and it's actually a more silver tone than this, but I think it'll stand out quite well against it. I like to take mine on a brush. I want to put this up the centre. I love Stila. And I'll use a little bit of Criterion just to blend the edges of my gold. I mean, this is going somewhere. It's going somewhere. I just cleaned up my fallout and threw on a lash just to speed things along. Oh, this is probably one of the top most exciting things in this video for me. I've wanted this product for a very, very, very long time, ever since it launched, because whilst I'm not much of a primer girl, I am a moisturizer girl, and I know Smashbox are really well known for their primers, so I ordered the primerizer and it says 24-hour hydration, 88% said it makes your makeup last all day, 127% hydration, plus 127% hydration. 97% says it feels lightweight and 91% said makeup goes on flawlessly. I just want to try it. It's very liquidy. See what the consistency's like. Probably not the most appealing thing to look at, just being honest. That feels real nice. That feels like a really thin but quite rich moisturizer. Doesn't really smell like anything, just kind of smells like a moisturizer would really. It does feel hydrating, like I feel, you know, like you put some on and it doesn't feel like it's hydrating. This actually feels very hydrating. Really sinking in already. I was going to get the mini of this, which is half price. I think it's like exactly half the size for half the price, but I thought, Melissa, you're probably going to like it, so just get the full size while you can. For foundation, I picked a drugstore foundation that I've wanted to try as well for a really long time. Max Factor used to have my favourite foundation. Well, my favourite foundation used to be from Max Factor. I'll try and put a picture on the screen. I would probably still wear it, to be honest, except I have so many foundations I don't really need to buy it anymore. This is the Facefinity All Day Flawless Flexi Hold 3-in-1 Primer Concealer Foundation. I picked the shade 10 Fair Porcelain, which you can probably see is definitely too pale for me, like even for Melissa here, which is weird. So I'm just going to deepen it with my foundation drops, but they won't really affect the actual foundation. So let's try this out. I don't know what coverage it is. Yeah, might still be too pale, we'll see. I feel like my skin is kind of blotchy, so hopefully this is full coverage. I want full coverage, we'll see. And I'm just going to blend this out with my sponge. See how it blends out over this primer as well. The sound of Flexi Hold to me sounds really good. I feel like it shouldn't like settle into fine lines or crack. That's one layer. I think that coverage is really pretty actually. I'm going to add more. Yeah, I'd say one layer is a good medium coverage. But I can still kind of see, you know, little rednesses and blemishes. Probably things that other people wouldn't notice, but you know when it's your own face and you're like, no, I can still see that. Yeah, that's the one layer. I would say that was actually, it feels kind of dry for blending out. It does blend out obviously, but it's one of those kind of more dry formulas that I feel took a bit more effort to blend. I just want to add more. So let's just grab some more. Especially for my like cheek, where I get my white mustache. But yeah, my cheeks and chin mostly. Layers up real nice. That is giving me, I would say, full coverage now, pretty much. I don't know though if you've got super dry skin, if this foundation would be great, because it does feel like more of a matte formula, like there's not a lot of sheen to my skin, even with that hydrating like primer underneath. And I think if you do have dry skin, it might not look great. Oh, interesting. I'll need to keep testing this out. Let me know if that's something you want to see. For concealer, oh my goodness, this is another product that I am so excited to try. You've been recommending it to me. So many of you have been recommending it to me for ages. So many of you say it's incredible. So many of you have asked me to try it. And now I have it. Look, this is the Benefit Boeing Cakeless Concealer. I got the shade number 1 because I find Benefit base products can actually run quite dark. And the packaging, I mean, it is lush, isn't it? So try this bad boy out. This looks like a really good shade for me as well, because even though my foundation is very pale, this is paler. Blending out incredibly easy. I thought it might be a little difficult, just because it is like somewhat thick feeling, like it's not a super liquidy concealer, and my base doesn't feel like wet. It doesn't feel dry, but it doesn't feel like, I want to say it doesn't feel mega hydrated, but I don't mean that because the primer, I mean that because the foundation does feel more matte. Oh, I really like that shade. Oh, that coverage. Wow, that blends out incredibly easy. That under eye looks great. No? I think so. What does this even say about it? Cover More Cakeless is full coverage liquid concealer, hides it all from dark under eye circles and blemishes and discoloration, yet it feels lightweight and doesn't cake or crack. Doesn't say creaseless. I wonder if that's what they're kind of getting at though. Obviously the shade is light, but I do feel like my under eyes look so bright and they're like projecting light at you, so it's not like sitting in my crevices, my big tear troughs. I just rubbed my face there and like casting shadow. I think my under eyes look really good. It is creasing on me. Most concealers do, like 99.9% do. So I will set this. I was going to set it anyway, but I will say, looking up super close where I've put this concealer, I do feel like those areas look a little dry. Probably, yeah, just need to test this with like my favourite foundation and see what I think. Because when you're using like a bunch of new stuff, how do you know what's like the issue? And maybe just one thing doesn't like another thing, but with your favourite it's gonna look great. The powder I'm very, very, very excited about. I really like the foundation. I love the concealer. And now I have the powder to try. Revlon Candid. So this is in the shade 001. I'll whack this on. It's got like a thing that you lift up. And I'm going to bake my under eyes a little bit, even though I've just complained that they're a little dry looking. We'll see. It's a nice light colour on me for sure. I'll use a fluffy brush just for the rest of my face. Oh, it wipes away very easily, which is good. It's not leaving like a weird cast behind. It does feel very, 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 very finely milled. Yeah, my face feels really nicely set. Quite often some powders you have to like go on with 2 layers just to really set your face. This one feels lovely and set. It's just a very like nice powder. When you like rub it on the back of your hand, it just feels, I'd say like almost kind of posh. Don't think my under eyes look particularly brilliant though. I feel like the concealer it was, I feel like it was the concealer because it looked a little dry when I had that on. And I think with the addition of the powder as well, it's just like, you know, where all my little lines are underneath my eyes, I feel like they look a little bit more sad than they usually do. Just another product I need to try over like my favourite foundation. Now, this is a repurchase, so I'm going to use the one that I've still got a tiny bit left in. I took the opportunity to repurchase my L'Oreal Shake and Glow. This is my one, this is a new one. We'll save that. This is a top favourite drugstore setting spray. This is the closest dupe I would say to the Glam Glow Glow Setter, which is like a top fave. So I'm just gonna whack this on because it is honestly pretty much the best, I'd say, glowy drugstore setting spray. Got such a beautiful fine mist on it, probably the finest from the drugstore. And it gives me a bit of a glow. And I was feeling like my skin was just, it's too matte for Melissa. Again, I feel like I've had a good mix of high-end and drugstore so far. We're gonna jump into a few more high-end, but we'll use the drugstore one first because I've got quite a few Benefit cheek products that I want to use. But I'm gonna contour first using an old fave. I'm throwing it back. I got this a long time ago. This is the Sleek Contour Kit. You can get this obviously using my link as well, and this is excellent. I've championed this for a long time. It's probably in a favourites video from like 2 years ago. This one's perfect for my skin tone. This is in light. I'm going quite heavy with it. Put too much on, are we surprised? And then for bronzer, I picked another favourite. This is mine over, like I already had this. I got this on Look Fantastic a while ago. Benefit Halo Light, great bronzer, highly recommend. It is pricey, but if you are very fair, it's the perfect bronzer from the high-end section. I do admit I use this sparingly because I am really scared of the day I run out of it. Because honestly, I do just trust it so much. It adds a warmth, but it's not like this orangey warmth. It's more just, I would just say, a very natural warmth. Bronzer is another favourite step in my makeup. I'm really happy with this, just not my nose contour. Highlight won't really be a shock. It's another Benefit product, Benefit Cookie. This is a favourite. I'm going to use it a little bit more sparingly just because it is a little deep on me. A little deep, pronouncing my T's. Cookie was originally released in palettes, and then due to the uproar they had to do singles, and I'm so glad they did. This is going to give me all the glow that I could want from what my base products didn't necessarily give me. Glowing! And then for blush, like I said, I do have a few Benefit products. I got Georgia. I think this is a re-release. I'm sure they used to have this, but this is, I think that she should change up the formula. So I got a mini just because my voucher was running low at this point, but I really wanted to try this, and I do find that Benefit minis last forever. It is a golden peach, it says. And it is just what it says on the tin. It's a very shimmery peach. In fact, I think this could be a highlighter on some skin tones. So I'm anxious to see if it will actually suit me as a blush or not. Let's see anyway. Literally smells divine. It smells like peaches. Like really posh, rich people peaches. Definitely has colour, you can see it, but I would say it's kind of veering more on the sheerer side, but just like a sheer wash of colour, and I'm not usually a sheer person, but I really like the glow because I like my glow to be like all over my face, not just where I highlight. I always think a shimmery blush just blends into your highlight so nicely. You can definitely see it. I feel like you can definitely see it. That is pretty. I'm gonna just go throw on some browns underneath my eyes, put on my brows, and then we'll come back for lips, and then I think that's us done. I warned you this was going to be dramatic. I have seen like what I feel like is all like the top lifestyle and beauty bloggers, like in the fro and all that, like promote these lipsticks. I think Soph has as well, and so I've really wanted to try them for a while. However, they are $9.99 and £10 is a lot of money for a drugstore liquid lip, but had the voucher, so I got the shade 113 I Don't, and it's a very, it kind of looks orange red on camera. It's definitely more red in person. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm very excited to try it out. It's a matte liquid lipstick. Right, let's see what this shade is all about then. Oh, it's a nice doe foot, like a pointed teardrop one. I'd say not much is coming out on the wand. Quite like a thin, kind of gel feeling formula. And it's definitely opaque, but it's not like wham bam thank you ma'am pigment, but it is there. I'm making a total mess, by the way. I really do like the shape of the wand because I feel like I don't need a lip liner at all. Very pretty shade. I would say just like a real fire engine red. Very lightweight. It genuinely feels like I just have lip balm on my lips, and I had foundation on my lips before this. I like it. It's not my personal favourite tone of red, but it is, I would say, quite a universal red, and I really like the applicator. Anyway, that's us done. I think one more bit of setting spray. Give our final thoughts. Earrings are on. That means we're done. I'll just talk about the things that were like first impressions today, because everything else that I used are favourites, like the Stila, the palette, Benefit Hula Light, Cookie, things like that, all favourites. I've talked about many times. So to start, the primerizer, I really liked how this felt. I do need to try it with my like favourite foundation because I'm having a couple of issues with my base, and I need to isolate what it is and test, you know, science. But it felt very moisturising, hydrating, very lightweight. Just, I wish, oh, do you know what? If they brought out like glow primerizer, Smashbox, you can make that. Just send me one for free. The foundation, I don't know if it's this or the concealer. I'm more tempted to say it's more the concealer because where I've put it, like underneath my eyes, on the tip of my nose, like in here, and my chin, all looks a little dry, so I think it's this. I'll need to test it. I'll test it with my ABH foundation, for example, and see what I think. The foundation though, I do think looks beautiful. Very much a full coverage with a couple of layers. I would happily go out, like if Michael Fassbender phoned me and was like, Melissa, let's go for a pint, I'd happily go and meet him like this, but imagine. But I don't feel like my skin looks as flawless as I can usually get it, and I don't know which one of these it is, so again, stuff we'll try in a different day. I really liked this powder. It set my base really nicely. All my then powders like went on top of it really well. I thought I would like it because it's part of the Candid range, and I feel like this is the best range that they've ever done, personally, for me. So I really like that. Would actually recommend trying that. The blush, I don't know. I do think it is visible. And it's very pretty. It's just, I kind of thought, I hoped it would blow me away, and it is definitely not blown me away. So test it if you want, but maybe get the mini rather than the full size, because the full size is like £27 or so, you know, and this will last you forever. And then last up, talk about this. It looks really nice. It literally feels like nothing on my lips. It's probably one of the most comfortable feeling liquid lipsticks I've ever put on my lips. It does make me want to buy the pink one. There's like a really lovely raspberry pink. It just doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything on my lips, and that is nice, especially when it is a matte liquid lipstick. We'll see if it is transfer proof. Not entirely, but on the whole it's mostly like transfer proof, and I think it is a lovely colour. It's just not, like I said, my favourite tone of red, but I can deal with it. So that is me tested a bunch of new things, bunch of favourites. What do you think? Honestly, if I can recommend anything, get the palette. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what product maybe surprised you the most out of this, or what I still need to buy. And subscribe. Polite thing to do, innit? Another massive thank you to Look Fantastic. Thank you for the voucher to buy new things. It's one of my favourite things to do. So yeah, just thank you so much for watching this video. A massive thank you to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your support. We've been chatting a lot on WhatsApp. I mean, that WhatsApp group is 24/7 and it's great. And we're giving each other a lot of good movie recommendations right now while most of us have to stay in our houses. If you want to be a Patreon, you can join the WhatsApp group, Facebook group, Discord, and I do weekly lives. The link is in the description box. If you can't or don't want to, don't worry about it. Watching my videos, massive support. And on that note, I'm going to piss off and go take some photos. I feel like this makeup is worthy of a photo. Yeah, thanks so much for watching and hope I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!